"Grandpa, why do you call your own number every day?" The little boy had been watching his grandfather do something strange each morning. He would sit down in his old armchair, pick up the landline phone, and dial his own number. He'd let it ring a few times, then gently hang up. One day, the boy finally asked, curious, "Grandpa, why do you do that?" The old man smiled softly, his eyes distant. "When your grandma was alive," he said, "she used to call me every day around this time, and even though I know no one's going to answer now, dialing the number makes me feel like I'm still waiting for her call." The boy didn't say a word, but the next day, right at that same time, he picked up the phone and called the house. Grandpa's hand shook as he answered, and on the other end he heard the sweetest voice in the world. "Hi, Grandpa. I just wanted you to know that someone's still thinking of you right about now. Sometimes love doesn't die. It just changes voices, and sometimes all it takes to bring it back to life is a single phone call." At night, Grandpa didn't sleep much. He sat by the window, the moonlight spilling across the table, the phone sitting silently beside him. He couldn't stop hearing that voice, not his late wife's, but his grandson's, bright, nervous, full of love. It had been so long since anyone called that number just to say they cared. The next morning, Grandpa woke early. The air smelled of rain, and the house creaked with that familiar morning quiet that only widowers seem to know. He shuffled into the kitchen and found a note taped to the fridge. It was written in Jamie's uneven handwriting. "Don't forget. I'll call again tomorrow. Same time. Love, Jamie." Grandpa smiled, tracing the heart with his finger. For the first time in years, he made 2 cups of coffee instead of one for himself, one for the memory of the woman who had always sat across from him. And when the phone rang, right on time, he almost ran to answer it. "Good morning, Grandpa." Jamie's voice was bright. "Good morning, kiddo." Grandpa chuckled, his heart lighter. "What are you doing today?" "Oh, just keeping the line open," Grandpa said, smiling to himself. "You never know who might call." Every day after that, Jamie called. Sometimes he'd tell Grandpa about school, sometimes about the cat next door, or the new comic book he was reading. Other days, they'd just sit in silence, both listening to each other breathe through the crackle of the old line. Weeks passed. The phone that once rang with ghosts now rang with laughter. But one morning, Jamie's call didn't come. Grandpa waited. He looked at the clock, 9:30, then 9:45, then 10. Nothing. He stared at the silent phone for a long time, the ache in his chest returning like a tide. Finally, he picked up the receiver and dialed. Not his number this time, but his daughter's. "Hey, sweetheart," he said, trying to sound casual. "Is Jamie all right?" "Oh, Dad, I'm so sorry," his daughter replied quickly. "He caught a fever last night and had to rest." "He told me to tell you he'll call as soon as he can." Grandpa exhaled in relief. After hanging up, he looked at the phone again. He hesitated. Then, for the first time in years, he dialed her number, his wife's, the one that no longer existed. He knew it wouldn't go anywhere. He knew no one would answer. But he let it ring, and ring, and ring, until just before he hung up, he whispered softly, "Don't worry, love. The line's still open. Our grandson. He's keeping it alive for us." He smiled through the tears. That night, Jamie's mother sent him a picture message, a photo Jamie had drawn from his bed. Grandpa, sitting in his chair, phone in hand, with 2 hearts connected by a single line. At the bottom, the boy had written in crooked letters, "Grandma calls from heaven." I call from here. From that day forward, the phone never felt like a reminder of loss anymore. It became a bridge, a quiet thread between generations, carrying love from the past into the present. And sometimes, late at night, when the world was still, Grandpa would swear he heard the faintest echo on the line, a whisper that sounded a lot like her voice saying, "I told you I'd always call."